What is going on, Canes fans? We have got ourselves one heck of a game to talk about here. We have got a very close game versus a team that really shouldn't have been too much of an issue for us, honestly. This should have been something that we could have handled easily. There's always positives and negatives to take away from this, but at the same time, we know things have to change, guys. We absolutely know they have to change. I'm going to be having some guys join me on here in just a bit. I have a buddy who's at the game. We're on live on Mark Rogers' Canes post-game show here. I'll have a buddy of mine who was at the game join me, and I'm also going to probably have a player's dad join me as well here. So we'll get some good inside info. So I'll try to get those guys on as soon as possible. One of the first things that I definitely want to talk about on here is I want to talk about how the offensive play calling on second down seems to be an absolute issue for us. I'm not sure what exactly it is. It is so predictable. Too many times we're doing second and run or second down and right up the gut. Trying to get the power run going. I get it. I understand that. I understand the reason for it. I just don't understand the reason to go to it all the time when it's not working. We can build off those inside runs. There's things that we can do, but if we're not being productive on those inside runs, it really doesn't help us sell anything. It just doesn't. There's got to be some kind of way that we can update this offense. I'm not sure if Lashley is gun shy, with the offensive line having issues like it's had. I'm not sure if he's just gun shy and he doesn't want to call certain plays. But, what I'm seeing so far, it's just been absolutely frustrating on that point. App State is who we thought they were. They came in with the power run game, came in trying to impose their will a little bit, even though they're a smaller team. They have an offensive line-minded head coach who is going to try to get them to do as much damage as they could in the trenches. We saw the power run game work for them. We saw Cameron Peoples have some success. It was when they had to put the offense on on the quarterback, when they put it on his shoulders, that's when you started to see more issues for them. And that's something that I think that, hopefully was the idea for us the entire game, was to get that going. So Bryce kind of had to, I guess you could say, make mistakes. He did make some throws. When the play action pass is going and the RPO is going, he can make some plays. But getting that team on his back is just something that he's not capable of doing. Seeing these young guys now, and I love to hear this from Canes fans because there's been a lot of talk about getting the young guys more playing time, getting the young guys more burn. Today we saw it a little bit. We saw, Restrepo in there a little earlier, but we didn't see a full-out commitment to it. We saw a lot of the typical guys out there, Harley, Rambo, and I understand. I totally understand. We want to get them involved. We want to get them going. But there has to be a time where we're willing to take some shots outside of that and be willing to do it a little bit more than we have been doing lately. I've actually got a buddy of mine here that's joining us. He was just at the game. He'll give us a nice little inside info on it.
Yo.
Caleb, what's up, bro? We are live right now. You were just at the game. What can you tell the Canes fans?
One word, tragic.
What did you see, bro? What stood out to you the most?
It's just disgraceful performance, man. Like, y'all struggling with App State, bro. I can't believe it, bro. Let me tell you, after the first quarter, I knew this was going to be a long one. That's just the first quarter, bro. Like, look, defense, people going to say, oh, they didn't give up too much points. They gave up too much for who we going against. You feel me?
Yep.
That's just me. That's the way I feel about it.
We've got another guest joining us here, guys. We've got one of our players' dads here right now. We got Joe Williams jumping in right now. Joe, is your volume working?
Is it? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I got you now, bro.
Sure.
What's going on, brothers? How y'all doing?
We're doing all right, man. Just that was a tough one, bro. That was a tough one, man. We're just talking about kind of what we saw and what really stood out to us, good or bad.
Hold on. Go ahead. Say that again. I'm sorry.
We were talking about what really stood out to us, good or bad. What'd you really see that kind of made you go, what the heck?
Oh man, just all phases of the game, man. All all three phases of the game seem to be lacking, man. Offensively, defensively, special teams. We're just not very good in any phase right now, and it's glaring. You know what I mean? It's glaring. It's disappointing, because what we've been told. So
Yeah.
it's disappointing with all the talent we have. I don't have confidence moving forward. So.
Yeah, let me tell you, I was somebody that thought, this type of team, with the talent we had, I think, there's no excuse for us to not go like 10-2, 11-1. But shit, I don't know about that no more, to be honest with you. Man, this game humbled me big time. Ross can tell you, man, I've been confident in this team for a while, man. I'm like, I don't know no more, man. I can't be 100% on that no more.
It's the trenches, guys. I mean, when are we going to start winning battles that we're supposed to win in the trenches consistently? There should be no reason why a group of 5 team should have been able to get some of those interior runs that they got on a consistent basis. Thankfully, we had to force them into passing the ball, but had they been allowed to run it that whole time, we'd have been in a lot of trouble. Joe, your son plays on the defensive line. What kind of issues are you seeing right now with that unit?
It looks like the tackles. I feel like, first of all, we can't get pressure with the front four. So we have to send blitzes, and that's always going to be an issue. We can't blitz every time with extra extra people. We should be able to get pressure with 4, and we can't do that, and that's an issue. We're just not stout up front. I mean, we lost some talent, but we're just not stout up front, man. And it's up the middle. The tackles, middle linebacker, it's right up the middle. So
what do we do then? We know we have some talent. It might be untapped. We haven't seen the best of them yet. But especially on the interior, what do we do going forward, man? Because I'm kind of lost sometimes with some of this, honestly.
I mean, for me, man, it's just I think a lot of these guys we thought were gonna be good players this year, they not it, man. Like they haven't taken that next step. I mean, look, I'm a big Nesta fan, but a guy like him, his talent level. I mean, bro, he was a top 40 player in the country. You feel me? Top 40, number 2 D tackle in the country. I mean, maybe it's not just him because that Ohio State guy, Trayon Vincent, I mean, he was the number 1 guy. I haven't seen much from him, but I expected a lot more than what we get from Nesta, bro. I'm not just going to point out him, though, because at least, he made some plays today. I think he made, he had a few tackles for loss. He was in the backfield. I thought Harrison Hunt looked good, too, even though, I just think we rotate too much, man. Like, it's just my personal opinion. We rotate way too much, man. Like, look, a guy like Tyreek, he got beat a few times, but he played good. He had a pick. I mean, I think we made a good move putting him in instead of Ivy. You feel me? That's just me, my personal opinion. And it's just like, look, when a guy like Wayman Steed and Jennings, no offense, those guys are garble, man. Like I can't, I don't even want to be mean, bro, because look, they UN players, and I try to support my team, but I call a spade a spade. And when somebody ain't playing good and they ain't playing up to the Miami standard, what you want me to sugarcoat? I'm gonna be straight up about it, bro. What you want to see? Why we always give up a bunch of big run play, 20 yards here, 15 here, all the time consistently is because our linebackers are garbage. Everybody was calling it, and the blitzes, bro. It's so obvious, bro. If the fans can see it, what do you think the team on the other side doing? They're gonna be like, oh, I already know what coverage this is. I know what's going on. We're gonna switch out of this. It's simple, man.
Far too predictable on both sides of the ball. What do you guys say about that, Joe?
Yeah. Lack of creativity, especially on defense. I think I may be in the minority here, but I don't think the defense is that bad. I think the defense is getting put in a lot of situations because of the lack of offense. Like you can't be a defense and be on the field all game. Like they're on the field all game, literally all game, man. So if the offense is giving up, is getting off the field on, they're going 3 and out consistently. We can't really expect we can't expect the defense to shut it down, but it's hard, man. It's hard being on the field all day. So it's just inconsistent, man. It's just undisciplined. So all the penalties, undisciplined, and just lack of creativity.
I'm glad you said undisciplined, because that's something that has been terrorizing me for a long time now, Joe. And it's something that I really thought we might get past this year. Last year we won some of those games we hadn't been winning. We made some improvements where we hadn't been making improvements consistently. And I thought we were going to get over some of this stuff. I really did, man. But this lack of talent, specifically on the defensive line currently, and not being able to get to the quarterback, it's something that Canes fans need to be worried about, because if we don't find a way to fix that, creative offensive coordinators and teams in the ACC are going to find ways to beat that. The predictability has become – it's a kind of corny to say, but the predictability has become too predictable. It is just – it's so blunt and it's so out there, and everybody knows what's going on, but yet we still don't try to do anything creative about it, at least not consistently. Caleb, man, what did you see on the offense tonight, dude? Like, did anything stand out to you at the game while you were there?
Sure. What didn't? I got a whole list. You want me to start offense or defense? I can go both.
Offense.
Okay, so Navon Donaldson, he don't move. he don't push anybody. People get through him. Man, he a walking turnstile, man. Like, I'm sorry. He was one of the best O-linemen we've had in a long time when we first got him. But he hasn't lived up to it. Ever since his freshman year, he's been, bro, this is something, we talked about it, Ross, a lot of times. A lot of guys that we've brought in, they do good to great their freshman year. Then after that, they fall off a cliff.
Yep.
And that's right. Like, Vaughn, maybe he's not 100% from that injury he had. But, he's had almost 2 years since that injury against Duke. And he's still like, bro, I'm going to be honest. He's him, Gaynor. Bro, how is Gaynor a starter? How's he a captain? What? He does good in school? That's the only thing he does. He can't block. He can't run block. He can't pass protect. He can't do nothing. Bro, let me tell you, how do we have, I thought the 2019 O-line might have been the worst O-line I've ever seen. That's pretty bad. But I will say we had a lot of young guys then. Zion was the freshman. Campbell was, I think, a redshirt freshman. Like, we had a lot of young guys then. But we have a veteran unit now, and it's still the same stuff, man. We can't do nothing, bro. We can't run the ball for nothing. At least when Chaney was in, I was like, oh, maybe. Bro, he got hurt after, 2 plays. That's another thing we got to talk about, man. Everybody's been hyping up Feely. Bro, Feely, you got to teach these guys to, eat better or something, because I feel like our guys, they get hurt. Oh, my ankle. Oh, this. They get hurt after nothing. Receivers is another thing. How is Keyshawn our best receiver? Rambo, how long you been in college? You came here because you wanted to be drafted. You okay? I guess. Harley turned into Pope and Wiggins. All these drops. He dropping easy stuff. I can't even believe it, bro. After what I saw last year, I was like, hey, maybe, the receivers are turning a corner.
Yeah.
And Mark Hardy's a good dude, bro. But, bro, you got to be honest with yourself. How are you dropping easy passes, dog? Lastly, well, that's another thing. People talking about, before the season, he might be a head coach. Head coach? Where? I got a question. Anybody that thinking Lashley could look. Lashley lucky if he don't lose his job this year. How bad he's been. He's been a disgrace. He's a bum. I can't with that, man. Play calling been trash. 3rd and 7. Oh, let's just hope De'Eric makes something out of nothing. Bro, the offense he ran at SMU, he must have had early Alzheimer's or something, because he don't call none of that. We don't, none of them plays. I'm gonna be honest, I think we're running the wrong scheme, bro, because what we running, it ain't working. And when we play better competition, they're gonna be looking at us like food. Oh, Miami, that's nothing. They run 3 plays the whole game. That's what it felt like we did. 3-4 plays the whole game. No, I gotta chill, man, because I don't want to be too green. Like, I love my team. Believe me, I was born a Kane fan. I'll be a Kane fan till I'm in, 6 feet in the ground. That's just how I am. But I'm tired of this, man. You know, my family, they've been seeing us been garbage for years. I've been seeing us as a season ticket holder garbage for like the last 5 years, bro. And I mean, I'm still gonna keep going, but I mean, I gotta be honest, man. What we put on the field right now, it's not good enough, man. We got way too much talent to be looking this way, man. And it's disheartening, man, because there's a lot of fans out there that they care about the program, and it's tough when you see the program doesn't care about football. I'm gonna call it how it is. Program don't care about football. If they did, this stuff wouldn't be happening, man. Manny Diaz, you not it. I'm sorry, you not it. You've been struggling with some bums. Bro, App State, bro, any other team drops 40 on them. I can't, bro. It's too much, man. It's ridiculous, man. And defensively, I agree 100% with what Joe was saying. They missed some plays here and there, but for the most part, look, we got one big part of the defense that's bad. That's linebacker. Safeties, Gervin Hall's terrible, but we already knew this. Bubba's okay. He's not as good as people hyped him up to be. Corners, I think Tyreek he's been good, to be honest with you. I just think, why are you playing 10 yards off each time? Why are you giving this weak-ass zone? We don't have corners to play zone because they get ate up in zone. Safeties can't do nothing. Linebackers are in the wrong position. You saw, bro, I knew they were going to score a touchdown on that 4th down based upon the alignment. It was so easy. Just run to the other side. You put all the people on one side. What do you think is going to happen? It's going to be a touchdown, man. All the easy catches they had today, broken coverage. Bubba and Gervin on that last drive that they scored on, they don't know what they're doing. They got their head on a swivel. They're looking at each other. Oh, you did this, I did this. No, you both are in the wrong position. What are you doing?
Joe, I got a question for Joe about this secondary. We brought in T-Rob, right? We were supposed to be updating our secondary, bringing it into the new era. Have you seen anything yet, or are you just seeing T-Rob running Manny's secondary?
I don't think it's. There's been some busted plays, busted coverages. Some really, what's been kind of disappointing, some lack of effort plays, man. Like earlier today, there was a busted coverage and the safeties were just jogging back. The coverage where they faked it and threw it to the tight end and he just fell. He should have scored.
Yep.
The safeties were jogging. The corner play has been okay to me. Safety play is a little shaky. I don't know what's going on there, honestly. I mean, I can't see. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's. I think it's like. I don't think he's not. I don't think he's less talented or anything. I don't know what's going on there, man. But the corner play is good to me. The corner play has been real good. I don't know. Do we know if T-Rob is coaching safeties as well, or just corners?
I mean, he's the defensive backs coach. He coaches both of them.
Yeah,
Yeah. The corner play has been good, man. The safeties is just. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's confusion. I don't know if the terminology's changed. I don't know what's going on, but the safety play is looking real shaky to me.
I mean, and it's disappointing considering the level of talent we got there. Bubba Bolden, he hasn't looked the same since that Clemson game last year. To be honest with you, Gervin Hall, I'm going to be honest. His first year as a starter in 2019, I thought he was good. I thought he had a good year. Ever since then, last year he was a disaster. This year he's even worse. How does this keep happening? Where players, when their first year that they start, they look good and they continually get worse and worse and worse. I don't know what it is. I have no idea. And you know what it is? It's coaching. I hate to say it, but it is, and it's been a problem ever since Manny's been a head coach, man. It's a shame because there's a lot of talent we got back there, man. Yeah. And I'm gonna be straight. Gervin Hall need to be sent to Siberia. He got to be sent somewhere. But he don't gotta be here no more. Forget about it, man. I'm done with it, bro. Play James, play Cam, play anybody except for Gervin Hall, bro. And Bubba, look, you might need to come back because the way you playing, I don't even know if you're gonna get drafted second, third round. You playing like maybe like a fourth, fifth round guy, and that's just based on your measurables and your potential. But production wise, man, he looking real sus too, man. I agree with what Joe was saying though. Look, corners have looked better. Ivy is Ivy. We already know. Look, I don't want to get into Ivy. I could go in a whole soliloquy talking about him. I don't want to do it. Look, Tyreek looks good. He'll look better if we actually play man-to-man and let him get into a receiver's face. To Corey, one thing we got to get better with, to Corey, he struggles against bigger, receivers. I saw today when I think it was the number 2 receiver for App State. He was eating on him a little bit. And I don't even blame Corey because he's a bit of a smaller guy, but he's right there. At least he stays on the hip of the receiver. Ivy got he playing 10 yards back. He don't know what's going on. Nah. Look, I'd rather give Dunson a chance. Blaze, I don't think I saw Blaze that much today, man. I don't even know if he played, to be honest with you. I feel like I didn't see him.
He was on special teams. He made some special teams plays.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but I didn't see him get on defense. I didn't see him. Maybe a couple snaps, but I barely saw him when we at corner.
Yeah, I think Isaiah Dunson. I thought I was hearing good things about Isaiah Dunson.
Yeah, they say he had a really good camp.
But yeah,
it's the same issues we see, guys. Though here's the problem for me: it's if we had different issues and we had different things to talk about, and we were making improvements in areas that we've been lacking in, I'd be feeling a different way about this. I'm seeing the same mistakes over and over again. We're talking about a guy like Bubba Bolden, a supremely talented player. We know he has first or second round NFL type ability. But to see the bad angles, to see the undisciplined, dropping his head right when he's going to make a big hit and barreling into Stevenson's back, that kind of stuff. You don't want to see that at this stage of his college career. And when it starts to get to a certain point, you kind of wonder, okay, are we ever going to see him really get right? Is he going to get under control? And we don't know that. And it's why I think guys like Cam Kinchins, even though he's young, need to get out there and need to get real snaps because he is a true safety. He is the essence of a true safety. He was the number one safety, in my opinion, in terms of, like I said, in terms of an essence of a true safety. He was the number one guy in his class, in my opinion. There's no reason why he shouldn't be out there, and he's already starting to show up right now. Joe,
he's a winner. He's a winner too, man. You can't teach that, bro. Like, we got a lot of guys, and I don't know if it means a lot to win in high school, but I think it does, in my personal opinion. You see guys, they hold themselves to a standard where, being decent, that's not good enough. Cam Kitchens almost won 3 state titles in a row. James Williams went to Heritage to win a state title. People say, oh, Heritage, they're already good. He helped. Guess what? They didn't win a state title the year before he was there. Once he got there, he helped them become a state champion team. We need more winners. We need more people that actually win at high school level. We can't have guys that, they put up stats, they do decent, but they come from a high school where they didn't get the job done. And then guess what? They come to college and they're like, oh, well, we'll just all look out for me. I'm not going to look out for the team. I think we got too many me people on the team. Too many people that care about the stats. They care about the flashy plays and stuff. We got guys celebrating when we're down by 2 to App State. Are you celebrating? What are you doing? It's ridiculous. Like you look like one of the things that drove me crazy last week against Bama, they taking out the chain down 27-0. Bro, and you think, oh, people gonna take us serious? Nobody's gonna take you serious as a program. It's embarrassing, man. I mean, I feel ashamed as a fan, bro, and I'm gonna keep supporting them, but I'm gonna call it how it is, man. It's too many years. Manny has had too many chances. He ain't changed the culture. That Canes All Access, that was a joke. He's like, oh yeah, every year, Miami standard, you gotta play hard all the time. Then why don't your players play hard? You got people that are half-assing it. I mean, that's an indictment on you as a coach. Are you okay with that? You're okay with people not, caring about winning? You feel me? I don't know. I don't think this team really cares about it too much, to be honest with you, man. The fans care more about winning than the own players do.
So I got a question for you guys then. we've talked about this before, and the word seniority has been an issue at Miami. Is this an issue still, or is it just an overall lack of depth? Because I see some of the young talent showing out when they get chances. So it kind of makes me wonder, is this true seniority, or are we actually just kind of not giving guys a chance even when they earn it? What do you think, Joe?
Man, I think it's probably a combination of both. You have to play who's going to get the job done. But I think one of the main issues is games like today, right? So you're playing App State. You kind of rely on, or you kind of hope that you win how you're supposed to win. This game's supposed to be a blowout. So at that point, you get your young guys in so they can play and get that experience. The games that we're supposed to do that in, we don't do that in. So it's hard for the young guys to get in and play and get that experience. So I think it's a combination of both to me. There are definitely some young guys, like I would love to see number 56 on the D-line get in and get some. I definitely love to see that. I think he's ready. But who are we? Like, I think he's ready, but I'm not on Green Tree, so I don't know. We did see James Williams and Cam Kitchens get in, and I think they should get more burn. Restrepo, some of the young receivers. But yeah, I think it's a combination of both, man. I think the young guys really have to get some experience somewhere. But depth is definitely an issue as well.
Man, one thing that I have a hard time with is I feel like what we're being told at our practices simply isn't true, because I don't see these guys and these, they say certain guys are just showing out and they're ready to start and ready to put on for us. But yet you don't see it when it's game day. So it's, how much of this is truth, or how much is the coaching staff wanting to play the guys they simply want to play no matter what? And that's something that Canes fans have had a hard time with. And that's where the seniority comes into effect. Picking and choosing your favorite players, whether they're productive or not. A lot of Canes fans have had some issues with that. And then you see a guy like Chance Williams, a young, talented player, get out there and make something happen right away. And then you kind of wonder, well, that must be happening in practice too, because it doesn't just magically happen in games out of nowhere. So, I'm kind of wondering, how much truth are we actually being told about this team at practice? And it concerns me.
Yeah.
I agree with you, man.
Yeah. And we're never gonna know, man. We're not gonna know. I don't get inside information, so I don't know. So we're never gonna know what's really going on. But yeah, guys like Chance, guys like Cam. We heard Cam was leading the team in interceptions, in the off season and in camp. So should he be getting more playing time? Yeah, probably, right?
Yeah.
I think he should be starting straight up. You don't know how many picks Gervin Hall got in his career? 2. 1 against FSU. That don't count. They're terrible. And then a lucky one because Bubba ripped it from a receiver as he was going down, and he was like, oh, here's a layup. You feel me? Bro, we got ballers that ain't playing. Let me give you an example. That number 1 rated D tackle from Washington, he was playing heavy snaps for Ohio State today. I think LT's better than him, and he not playing. How's that happen? Straight up. Look, I don't want to hear anything about practice. They got to get their stripes. Man, forget all that BS, man. If you're that good where you could be the number 1 player in the country and you're not playing, it makes no sense to me. James and Cam, as freshmen, are already better than Gervin Hall. Straight up. It's a fact. You saw when they came in the game against Bama, they played with pride. We got some people that going through the motions all the time, man. That's the way I see it. I see a team that isn't really motivated to play good. They don't have that pride in themselves that they want to do good for their school. They want to do good for themselves. I don't see it, man. I don't see no passion. Manny was this big passion in DC. He's like a zombie on the sidelines. You don't see him doing nothing. Like, people gonna point out, well, he got excited after Bama bombed him up for the 90-yard touchdown. Yeah, I would be pissed too if I got bombed. I would show some type of emotion. You feel me? I don't get it, man. But this seniority, what you were talking about earlier, yes, seniority is still alive. Because a guy like Zach McLeod should not be starting over Chance Williams. He shouldn't. Both turnovers we forced in the Bama game and the pick we had today, you want to look back on who caused the pressure, it's because Chance Williams bodied his guy, got to the quarterback, and forced him to, he threw that floater up and it was picked. I will say, though, I've been a little harsh on Amari Carter in the past. I think he's been better as striker. I don't know if he's been a lot better, but he's been good, in my opinion.
He had a good game today, definitely.
But I just think, man, what Joe was saying earlier is we put the defense in bad spots too. But regardless, if you're in a bad spot, like the play calling is trash. All this zone, every time we go against a decent team, our defense is exposed. And then against lower level teams, we're in a dogfight. You feel me? You think Nick Saban, you think Dabo Swinney are in a dogfight with Appalachian State? No, they're not. And I mean, look, I know Manny's not that, but I don't even know. I don't even know if he could get to that level. I don't see it, to be honest with you. This looks like a team that when they go against adversity, they fail and they fold. It looks like it, to be honest with you. We're a front-running team, bro. We got a lot of front runners on this team that they don't keep the same energy when we losing or we're in a close game. But when we're winning, they're going crazy. They ain't hype. That Florida State game is a perfect example. Where was all of that hype against Oklahoma State? Where was that against Clemson? Where was that against Bama? You got to have, man, look, I know Bama was last week, but that was another inexcusable performance, the way we played. And coming after that game, you should have some pride where, you know what, App State, we should step on their neck all game and drop 40 on them. It shouldn't be a competition. Man, this was let me tell you, App State fans were going crazy at the stadium. They were laughing at us even though we won. They were throwing down to you, and they're like, well, good luck the rest of the year. You're going to need it. I feel the same way. We keep playing like this, we're going to get popped at least 2 or 3 more times.
When your team is bigger, stronger, and faster, and you're not dominating, what else is left, guys? It's coaching. That's all that's left on that conversation, basically. We don't know where we're at with coaching because we don't even know if we've seen the best of our coaches. We don't know, like I said, if Lashley's gun-shy because of the offensive line, if T-Rob is even getting a chance to coach secondary how he wants to. God only knows what's happening with the linebacker core. I have no freaking clue what's going on there. But it's just
Keontae Smith got hurt too.
Yeah. What do you do after a game like this, guys, where you barely pull out a win? Now, App State isn't a terrible football team. I don't want people to think they are. They're not a terrible team, but we should have won by 17 plus easily. So how do you regroup yourself and get yourself ready for the next game, which is not going to be too hard, but knowing you got to battle that next week too?
Michigan State?
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a hard game too. We in for the same type of thing, man. It shouldn't be, but we're in for the same type of battle because we know, even though we're struggling right now, we're a small team Super Bowl. We're small. Yeah. Everybody wants to come to Miami and beat Miami, so and embarrass us at that.
Yeah.
So it's going to be hard. I think. It's going to be hard to get the locker room. It's going to be hard. There's a lot of outside noise. These guys are all on social media. You know that.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be hard. You have to keep the team united and focused on what's going on. So, like if we're talking about the Taylor who's not playing, it's probably how do you keep him motivated? How do you keep James Williams motivated? How do you keep Cam Kitchens motivated if they're not? It's gonna be hard, man.
Well, I mean, my opinion on that is that I think those guys, they're self-motivated. You feel me? Those guys, they know they're good, and they know that, even though they're not playing now as much as they should, eventually it's gonna happen because they believe in themselves and they were brought up that, you know what, I'm gonna just keep grinding. I don't know how many guys we got on that team that got that mentality, to be honest with you. And after a game like this, I'm not the type of person that I'm gonna lay into people, but I'm laying into the team after this. I'm like, look, this was, it was a disgraceful performance. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, man. I don't think Manny should sugarcoat these guys. They're men. They're not little kids. You're in college. You gotta perform. If you don't perform, then again, we got guys that don't perform on the team and they still start. So I think Manny has to look himself in the mirror and he has to get himself off the mat after this game. Because even though we didn't lose, this felt like a loss. Mentally, this looked like a loss, to be honest with you. And I guarantee you, Michigan State gonna be licking their chops looking at coming down here to play us. So you got to tighten up. You got to have a strong week of practice, and you got to get up off the mat and bounce back. I'm going to be honest, this team got to show me something next week. After this, they got to show me something, man. They got to show me that they got heart. Because I'm going to be honest, they didn't play like they had heart today. They didn't. You know how close we were to losing that game? We probably should have lost. To be honest with you, we played like we deserved to lose, but we won. Now, the definition of a team is how you respond after efforts like this. If we respond and we play good against Michigan State, that'll tell me that Manny really stepped it up. If we go through the motions and we play, another 27-20, 27-23 game, that'll tell me when we get to ACC play, we're going to be in big trouble. I'll tell you that much. We're going to be in a load of trouble because some of these other teams, they coach better than us. It's just a fact. Even App State was at a talent deficiency, and their coaches had them playing hard the whole game. We got questionable coaches doing that, man. Like, I'm going to be honest, I have no idea what Manny does. I don't know what he does. What do you do? You're the head coach of Miami football, and you got us looking like this? Like, I'm going to be honest, I don't even know if I felt that way during the Golden years, to be honest with you, because I knew Al Golden was a garbage coach. But Manny, I had some type of hope because his defenses were good. They struggled a few big games, but his defenses were good, and they played hard for him. I don't see the same type of energy, man. I don't see players playing hard for one another. I see some players doing it, but I see a lot of players that they don't give enough effort. And effort is a huge part of football. You may not be the most talented, but if you play hard and you execute, you'll always have a chance.
Well, I'll tell you what, one thing that Canes fans need to be thankful for, and even though we gave up a return touchdown today on special teams, if it wasn't for Borregales and Headley doing what they did and our coverage unit getting down there to down punts, we'd have been talking about a probably very, very different game. If that's Bubba Baxa kicking those field goals, we might not be talking about a win. So I hope fans really, truly realize how special Borregales and Headley are, and props to our coverage unit for getting down there and downing it. Like I said, they had the one mistake, gave up the touchdown, but other than that, they were some of the best football we saw today.
Yeah. Let me tell you, our best player is the punter. Headley gone after this year. He going to the league. Forget about it. He'd be one of the best punters in the NFL right now. And Andy Borregales, hey, Manny, maybe you should kick a 50-yard field goal because that kid got a leg. Let me tell you, that was driving me crazy on that possession. I'm thinking, okay, well, we got 10 yards. We're going to let Andy kick this. And we punt it. I'm like, yo, Manny, what are you doing? You know what that tells me? That you playing scared. You playing not to lose. That's the big difference. We play not to lose instead of playing to win.
That's scared football. Yeah, and you see it from the play calling on both sides. And that, I think that's what bothers a lot of fans so much is when you know you've got talent and you're literally not using it like you're supposed to. Why are these guys getting paid millions of dollars to not do the right thing? Like literally, to not do stuff that we see. Now, like Joe said, we're not a green tree. We don't see the ins and outs of everything, and we can't act like we do. But we do see game day, and we can make our assumptions based off of that. And so far, what we're seeing, it's just simply not good football so far. This should have been You know, I would have understood if we'd have been in this game for a battle for the first half just because of their run game. Their run game is absolutely legit. But there was no reason this game should have been anything in the second half. And had they hit on a couple of those passes on third down, this could be another conversation that we're having that Miami didn't win this game. So we're talking about 2 or 3 plays away from possibly not winning. Simply not acceptable against a group of 5 football team.
Okay, I can't say anything more than that. It's facts. It's facts, man. Like, you know, it's a shame, man, because, you know, we're too talented to be in dogfights with these guys, man. It's a fact, bro. We brought in, what was it, the 11th ranked class, you know, in 2019, 11th in 2020. Like, we got talented guys, bro. But guess what? Some of these talented guys aren't playing, you know? Let me ask you, how a guy like Chase Smith not playing? You see how bad our linebackers are? How are you not playing? I don't understand. Tariq Austin Cave. I thought he was having a good camp. Everybody was talking about he was having a good camp. He got hurt, but I see him on the sideline. He looked fine to me. You feel me? Why you keep going with Steed and Jennings? Like, look, I understand they've been here for a while, but they stink. They shouldn't even been playing in the ACC. I don't even know if they will play for FIU. They might play for the Miami-Dade Sharks. I know some of the people there. They might take them. And then when play calling, man, let me tell you, a few of me and my homeboys from Calle Ocho, we could call better playing a game than Lashley. Oh, he called the same stuff. It's ridiculous. And then I'm going to be honest. I was somebody that thought Manny would change the defense. Guess what? That wasn't Baker's fault last year. That's Manny's defense, and he on the same BS that Baker was doing. Why you think LSU wanted to pot themselves after that UCLA game? They said, damn, these linebackers stink. Yeah, that's because you got Baker. Baker's a Manny clone.
Yeah. You ain't lying, bro. That's what we're seeing is regardless of who we add to the defensive staff, we're still running an outdated scheme that's just not going to get us the wins we want to get. So if you go out and you spend all this money and you make all these hires, but you really don't make fundamental changes, you're just spending money to spend money. And that's how you end up losing a guy like T-Rob, a guy who could sit back and go, wow, I can do so much more somewhere else, a place that'll let me do more, and I'll get paid pretty much the same to do it there. That's how you lose a superior teacher and coach like him. And I'm worried that if we keep playing the dumb games that we're playing, that's where we'll lose some of the few guys we have that are actually capable at what they do. I don't know what we would do, honestly, if at the end of this season, you know, T-Rob gets an opportunity like T-Will gets. Like, where do we start over in the secondary again after that? Yeah, we've got DVD, but, I mean, come on, man. That's a lot to ask for him right now. I love DVD, and I think he's going to be a great coach for us, but it'd be a lot to ask just after only 1 year with T-Rob. So, I mean, it's got me a little bit worried that some of these guys could simply decide to leave just due to the fact that the grass looks greener on the other side.
Oh, they leave because of incompetence. We have an incompetent coach. We have a stubborn coach. Manny has to face the facts. And the facts are, you're not getting it done, Jack. You're not. So guess what? You're going to need input from other people to help you out to get the job done. There's no problem. There's no problem with asking other people on the staff to help you out. Like, hey, let me get another set of eyes. Maybe, you know, I need to tweak some things. There's nothing wrong with that, man. You have to stop being stubborn. Talk to Shoop. Talk to T-Rob. Talk to anybody else. Hit Jimmy Johnson up. I'm sure he'll help. You know, he still loves the U. Just, bro, you need input from someone else because right now it's not getting it done, man. And Lashley got to be put on a milk carton because he's been MIA these 2 games, man. He missing in action. I ain't seen him. To be honest with you, playing Cam Harris over Chaney. And Cam Harris, he looked a little bit better tonight, but he should look better. App State and Alabama. You feel me? He should do a little bit better. But I guarantee you, if Chaney's not seriously hurt, he got to be starting. And Mike Harley got to look himself in the mirror too now. Because when Keyshawn is looking like our best receiver and he's a redshirt freshman, to me, that's a red flag. That tells me that, you know, there's something going on. And I'm going to be honest, where's Will Mallory been? Everybody was hyping him up before the year. They were saying, oh, he was going to have a good year, big year. I ain't seen it, bro. I'm not seeing it. every time we want to give them the ball, it's on these little pop passes. Oh, here, look, get a little screen, run and get tackled for 5 yards. Like, I don't get it, man. This offense should be scoring 40 points a game. And we're not doing it. We got the talent to do it. ACC defenses are food, man. If we don't drop 35 on Michigan State next week, put a fork in Lashley. Send him somewhere, because if he don't go crazy next week, it's going to be the whole year. It's going to be another Enos year, because it's going to be worse than Enos, because Enos was an idiot because he was running the wrong scheme thinking we had a Bama-type O-line. Yeah. But Lashley's being stubborn, and I'm going to be honest, he's limiting the playbook for whatever reason. Also, King doesn't look 100%. I don't know what people were saying. Oh, he's back up. He don't even look 90%. He looks like maybe 75%. Like, there were some runs today. Last year, he's bucking it for at least 20 yards, 15 yards. And today, he got like 5-6 yard gains. You feel me? So maybe he's limiting the playbook because he doesn't know if King can do everything. But you got to ramp that up, man. I don't know what it is, but King looked terrible. He looked horrible today. And I hate to say it because I'm a big fan of him, but he was missing passes left and right. Receivers weren't helping him because we had like 5 drops. But at the end of the day, this team got to do some soul searching because it looked like we got our soul snatched today.
When your team is struggling like we are in certain aspects of the game, you got to figure that it will have a negative effect on our most important position, quarterback. And like I said about Lashley, maybe being gun shy to make certain play calls due to the offensive line. Well, is King himself gun shy to do certain things on the field because of the drop passes, because of the bad route running, because of the lack of blocking? When you've got guys second guessing themselves on the field during game day snaps, nothing good is going to happen. It just won't. You can't second guess yourself. It has to be natural. It has to be something these guys are good at and play to their strengths. And I don't know why that's been something so hard for us to figure out, but it just seems like Lashley has kind of wanted to, my terminology has been fit a square peg into a round hole. He's trying to basically make something happen that we don't even need to make happen. We can just use our natural strength and ability and be more productive than what we're doing right now. So, Joe, what do we do with this offense then? If Lashley's going to be stubborn, do we ever see changes, or do we just keep seeing the same thing every week?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be the same thing. Someone said we were talking about Lashley and the creativity, but it doesn't even look like we can do the simple things. So just simply lining up and running a dive or running a stretch or a simple RPO or a simple zone read, we can't even get that right. A simple screen, we can't even block that right. So the O-line has gone through a lot. So we have Ja'Kai, who's injured. He's been out. Campbell was supposed to play a major role. He's injured. So it's kind of, dealing with that. But the simple things we can't even do. So I don't know how you open up when you can't run simple plays successfully. So I don't know what you're gonna do. I don't know how you alleviate that. I don't know what you do.
So we're still lacking at the basics then in a lot of ways, it sounds like. And that's unfortunate because we thought we were past that. This was the year that I was looking at and I was going, wow, we might actually have more than one productive wide receiver on the field at the same time. But we haven't seen it. We've seen the guys flash occasionally, but usually we only have one guy on the field that's kind of willing to make a play in each down, but we don't always get them the ball. Keyshawn Smith, he's doing well. Xavier Restrepo, he fights for the ball. But guys like, Harley and them, we know they're supremely talented, but damn, eventually something's got to change with all this stuff. It's the stubbornness, it's the seniority, whatever you want to call it, and it's the lack of depth. And all of that leads us to where we are now. And this is football. This is the ultimate team game. There is no other sport that's more of a team game than football is. It takes coaches and players to be good. When one side's lacking and the other side's trying to pick up the slack, It's just what you're going to see. And this is why Miami has been stuck at mediocrity for such a long time. We're fighting these really dumb battles within our own program. We're beating ourselves up more than opponents can beat us up. And that's what kind of pisses me off a little bit. Now, Joe, I don't know, like, if you know, do the players, do you get a sense that the players feel like this coaching staff might not get them in the right direction, or do you think that they're still going to stick with these guys and believe in them?
I think they're gonna stick with them. What I hope changes is the rhetoric. You know, I feel like we have a kind of a defeatist attitude. At least that's what I get after like last week at Bama, where it's like we weren't supposed to compete because it was Bama. You know, and you're hearing that from the staff and in interviews. Well, it's Bama. That rhetoric is just, I think that rhetoric is damaging, man.
Yeah.
You know, you got players just like going through the motions because, you know, it's Bama. Why do we even show up? So if we win the Coastal and have to go play Clemson, then what? What happens?
That's going to be a bloodbath. That's what it's going to be.
The same thing, because we're not supposed to be there, apparently. Yeah. You know, that's another good team. We're just the average. You know, I think that whole mentality has to change. Like, we're supposed to go into every game thinking we're going to blow whoever out. It doesn't matter. You know,
a lack of confidence is kind of what I see. Is that what you're pointing at?
Yes.
1,000%. Everything Manny said after the Bama game, it was an indictment against him. Oh, well, Bama does this to everybody. Bama's this, Bama's that. Well, what do you mean, bro? So what? What were you telling the team before the game? Well, like, what were you saying? Oh, well, you know, just play hard and whatever happens, happens. Bro, like, what Joe's saying is spot on, man. We got to stop hearing that, man. Look, every game you got a chance to win. It's all about executing and playing as hard as you can. And if you don't do either of those things, you don't deserve to play, man. We deserve everything that we've gotten this year because we played like it and we've been coaching like it. And if we continue to do the same shit's going to happen.
How long is Ed Reed going to sit back and be okay with this, guys? How long is he going to want to be associated with the team if they're not really getting back to the Canes that he wanted them to be? Is this going to be something where he could take off a little earlier than we want him to? Or do you think Ed Reed will really kind of stick around and see this out? You know, because he's a Cane. He's a diehard Cane. But after a while, you got to start going, man, I can't be a part of certain things, you know? So what do you guys think?
Shit, if I were him, let's just say if things don't get better quick, I'm not wasting any time, man. I'm gonna keep it straight up. Because if Manny doesn't care, if the coaching staff doesn't care about really being great, then why am I going to associate myself with that? I love my school, but at the end of the day, it's ridiculous and it's unacceptable. And if he leaves, I don't blame him.
Yeah, again, internally, there's things going on that we have no idea. Yeah. You know, so I don't, you know, I don't know. We definitely can't speak on what's going on internally. Hopefully they have a plan. You know, hopefully there's a plan in place and things are in motion. Hopefully, you know, they have a plan and they're working things out. You know, hopefully Ed Reed is I don't know. Hopefully something's going on behind the scenes that we don't know about.
So I want to ask you guys, with Michigan State coming up here, what do you guys know about them? You know, I know that they are a good coach team. Mel Tucker's going to have them ready to play. Is there anything specific Canes fans should be keeping an eye on? Caleb, you're muted, bro.
Oh, you muted.
My bad. They got a good O-line. The running back's good. Their quarterback is he's nothing special. You know, I think the App State guy might be better than him. So they have a good couple D tackles. They're good up the middle. But like I said, that's another team that it could be close for a half. But for more than that, the way we've been playing, it'll probably be close the whole game, but it shouldn't be. And that's the worst feeling to have. when you feel like you're way better than a team you're gonna play, and you still think, oh well, it'll probably be a nail biter. It'll come down to a field goal, come down to a touchdown.
Yep.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Yeah, the it's gonna be the same thing. Everybody that plays Miami plays hard.
Yep.
Everybody wants to beat Miami. It's they want to embarrass us, man. So they're gonna play hard. They're gonna be disciplined. They're gonna be more stout than we just saw. They're gonna be more stout than App State. You know, along the fronts. Their D line is bigger. Better than App State's, and App State gave us trouble in a 3-man front, you know. So, O-line, they're gonna pound, ground and pound.
Yep.
And you know, that's giving us a little bit of trouble. So, you know, hopefully we're ready to be aggressive and just come out on both lines, O-line and D-line, and be aggressive, man, and try to, you know, dominate early and often, hopefully.
They'll try to keep it simple, you know. He'll try to keep it simple like Saban did. And until we force creativity, we won't see it. The blueprint's out there, guys, unfortunately. The blueprint on how to beat the University of Miami Hurricanes is out there, and it's well known, and it's circulating, unfortunately. Now, does that mean that we're just completely sabotaged and ruined? No. We have a great chance to flip this and make something great out of it. But the problem is the blueprint is out there, and we have the stubbornness. And that's where I'm having a hard time trying to really grasp and say, hey, man, we are going to flip it, are going to turn the corner. Because Michigan State, I'm sorry, you know, there's some fans that are kind of, you know, slacking on them. Michigan State will smack us in the mouth if we're not careful. They might not dominate and beat us like by 40, but they will smack us in the mouth in a hard-fought football game. I've never seen Manny Diaz beat a Power 5 team from outside the conference. I've just never seen it. So I need to see him make something happen in this. I mean, we lost to Louisiana Tech in a bowl game, you know? So not even a P5 team. So this is a P5 team with a national brand and a background in winning. This is a really good chance for us to kind of erase some of the doubts and some of the worries we had and really make it so the season goes positive going forward.
Yeah. I agree. This is the type of game that can make and break you for the next, you know, for the rest of the season. You feel me? We have the type of performance that we should have, you know, then that could skyrocket us into ACC play. You feel me? We get a cupcake after Michigan State, and then you got Virginia. Virginia always plays us close, especially at Hard Rock. They always play us close. And then you got a bye week, and you got the biggest game of the year. You know, so this game, it can either set the tone in a positive way or in a negative way for the rest of the season. And me, I'm going to be honest. Hey, Ross, we talked a lot. I was sleeping on Michigan State. I was sleeping on them, but I ain't sleeping no more. I'm wide awake. And let me tell you, that O-line, they're not going to do what App State did, and they're going to pass. They're going to run the ball 40 times. They're going to run it until we can't stop them. Simple as that. You feel me? And I don't blame them. If I've been seeing film on us, I do the same thing. Just keep running the ball. Eventually, they're going to get tired, and then we're going to break a big one. And let me tell you, that Michigan State running back, he ran a 75-yarder on, the second play against Northwestern. He's good enough to break a big one against us. The one hope I have is that if we got to grind them from the beginning, and eventually they're going to get tired. That Miami Heat is something different. And a noon kickoff, that's a recipe for disaster for them. But only if we come out hungry from the beginning. We got to play hard. We got to play like we want to win. And we got to stop doing the same mistakes we've been doing. We got to have a strong week of practice and say, look, let's put this game behind us. We got the win. We just got to continue to get better every day. And eventually things are going to turn for us.
Yeah.
So what is a comfortable win for us against Michigan State, guys? We're about to hit the top of the hour here. We're going to close up the show here soon. So I'd like to hear from you guys, Joe, like right now. You know, what's a comfortable win against Michigan State? I know it's early in the week, but we all probably have a number in our mind.
Yeah, I don't really have a number. I just want to see, you know, we just want to see certain things.
Yeah.
I want to see us be able to stop the run, get them in second and long, third and longs, force them to have to pass the ball. I want to see us on offense just dominate the line of scrimmage, man. Be able to run consistently, be able to do the little things, the basic things that we're not doing. Block screens,
Yeah.
Be able to, run our read option and have our quarterback make the right reads, be able to catch the ball. I just want to see improvement in those areas, man. A good win for me, it can be 24 to 10 game if we did all those things correctly. But if we do all those things, it should be a 40 to 14 game, 40 to 13 game, 40 to 10, something like that, so less penalties too. Penalties. Oh my God.
Oh.
Gosh.
Caleb, what's going to be a comfortable victory for you, or what do you truly want to see different against Michigan State we haven't seen this year so far?
I mean, I want to see guys play with some passion, bro. Like straight up, like I mentioned to it earlier, man. I don't know how motivated these guys are, man. I mean, I see some players, they play with it, some players don't. And it's obvious, bro. Like if you're in the stands, you can see it. It's a fact. So I want to see Manny have these guys prepared. That was one thing against Bama. We didn't look prepared. We looked like, oh, we've been practicing against dummies. You feel me? Look, for me, it's all about mentality. We got to go in there wanting to dominate from the opening snap. And if you don't have that mentality, I don't know what to tell you. It's going to be a long day. And I think for me, if we do the things that Joe was saying, less penalties, offense looks more organized. There were 3 plays I could tell you today, 3, maybe 2, that if we would have blocked up better and if we would have done things the right way, it's an easy touchdown. Cam Harris on a screen picked up 6 yards when that screen should have gone 40 yards for a touchdown. Mike Harley on a slant and go, easy, like a 40-yard gain. He cuts off the route early, and it's an incompletion. It's the little things, man. And we don't, like you said, we don't do the little things right. How are we going to improve if we don't even do the basics right? For me, we got to win this game something like 38-17, 38-20. That'll tell me that we've really improved. If we struggle again and we barely win, or if we lose, that'll tell me that we didn't do anything differently. And we just rested on our laurels, you feel me? And that's not going to be good enough, man. Michigan State is good enough to win this game this week. And we got to prepare, and we got to get ready for a dogfight because they're going to go in there believing that they can win. We got to go in there, step on their necks from the beginning of the game, and keep it on them. The whole game, pour it on them.
Man, I agree completely. And Canes fans, you got it right here. You got it straight from the fans themselves. We know what we want to see next week. We know what we don't want to see next week. And I think it's kind of black and white now. It's pretty clear, I think. The issues we have are not new. They're old, and they have to be corrected if we want to get bigger success than we've had recently. I just want to thank you guys, man, for jumping on here. We're on Mark Rogers TV on YouTube. We're doing our live post-game show for the Miami Hurricanes. I had my buddy Caleb, who was at the game, join us, and I had my buddy Joe join us after this one too. And I just want to thank you guys for coming on here, man. This is the first one I've been able to host on my own. So you guys were part of my inaugural host. So I just want to give you guys some props and say thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It's still about that you, man. It's still
all about it. Give me a reason to keep wearing it, though, please, man.
Always.
Lord.
Thank you to the 150 fans that joined us tonight too, man. Y'all are real, man. Thank you for that support. It's a big deal. And like these guys said, it's always all about the you.
Yes, sir.